Good day, everybody, and good Super Bowl weekend. Super Bowl stuff coming up. I got to give you some stronger takes than I did last week. We got a good show here. Enjoy your cup of coffee today. Of course, I'm going to show you something I haven't done ever on the show. I went away from my Yeti mug, and I'm going to show you. I now am drinking a cup of coffee, of course. And so this is actually my original cold foam, and here's what it looks like. So the cold foam is already taking shape. You can see the coffee is getting a little milkier, but there's some foam up there still. Caramel and cinnamon I've got today. And so great always, but there's a first look at what my cold foam looks like. If you have not had a cold foam, you should give it a shot. It is terrific. Do you tip your barista? When you go to a coffee shop, your Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, wherever, your local shops, do you tip them? I say, of course you should. If you're tipping waitresses, some people that say, no, why are we tipping this? If you're tipping waitresses, which everybody does, the baristas are taking your order. They're listening to what you say. You've got a bunch of, double this, half of this, light on this. You've got all kinds of requests. They make the coffee for you and they serve it to you. So why not, as a rule, I think I give them at least 10%. Not much, but you give them something. Give them something. If you're giving, again, all these other people that you tip all over the place, give your barista a little tip. Okay. So let me just throw out random great vegetables, mushrooms and onions. Great. Two of my favorite, maybe my two favorite. And it's definitely a kind of a love-hate maybe with people I know. Either you hate onions or you love them. Same with mushrooms. I don't like the texture. Look, for me, mushrooms, onions, great. There you go. Okay, not much else. Everything else is sports. Jamie, sorry about that, but Super Bowl weekend here. NBA trades. The biggest one, Anthony Davis and Doncic. Look, everybody thinks Doncic is the guy on tape, I think, but how many Anthony Davises are out there in the NBA that can do what he does, both ends of the court? Short term at least, he's a few years older than Doncic. Doncic struggles with weight. I don't know if he can get himself in more shape. He's always coming in at the start of the season overweight. He scores a boatload of points. I like Davis. I like Dallas, especially if Kyrie can get his head straight. That's a giant question mark. But Kyrie is unbelievable if focused. And so there could be a winning combination, Davis and Kyrie. Keep an eye on that one. Gretzky, let's talk about Wayne Gretzky, because we've got a guy, Ovechkin, who is coming up on and will surpass him in total goals this year. They say records are made to be broken. Not really, but what records do is they put a tag out there, a number out there for the younger athletes, the younger pros, to come and say, okay, I'm 35. If I play 5 more years, I can get this record and I'm going to shoot for it. I'm going to target. And that's what Ovechkin has done. He's hung around. He keeps playing another year. Give me another year. Give me another year because I want this record. Gretzky had long retired by now. Gretzky still is the greatest. But again, hats off to Ovechkin. He stayed long enough to break an all-time record. Good for him. So another thought on records. How about Pete Maravich? I thought his scoring record in college would never be broken. Averaged 44 points a year for 3 years. Could not play as a freshman back in the day. They didn't let him play. Thought no one's going to break that record. And especially with the one and dones with men's college. But oh, wait a minute. Time out. Along comes Caitlin Clark, is actually a female version of Pete Maravich, just phenomenal. And maybe, percentage-wise, shooting percentage is better than Pete. But she played 4 years to his 3. The total games, Clark 130 games to Maravich 83. And you've got a record that breaks, where I never thought it would. Well, that's how you break a record. Good for Caitlin Clark, though, but both two great players. We've got the Super Bowl weekend. Here we go. Before I get to the game, though, let's reflect on some commercials. Everybody kind of loves to keep an eye, or you should love the commercials. There's been some good ones over the years. How about the What's Up commercial with that was for Bud, right? Yeah, Bud, and that leads into my What's Up that I just strongly dislike these days. Well, look, What's Up was hysterical. It was a great commercial, and let's face it, What's Up? It was meaningless. It was absolutely foolish, but it was hysterical. Great commercial. I think it was like 25 years ago. And then how about the Dilly Dilly? Let's follow up. Dilly Dilly, and the Dilly Dilly was with the Bud Light. Just hysterical. Again, meaningless. It was so meaningless. It was hysterical. Great commercials to look back on. Keep an eye on Peyton Manning. Looks like he will be in a Bud Light commercial this weekend, Super Bowl day. So Peyton Manning, just hysterical with commercials. He is great announcer. He might even be better in commercials than he was as a quarterback, and he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. So, okay, so here we are. Super Bowl. Who are we going to pick? I said, I got to come up with a strong take here. But so how do you analyze it? It's 1.5. Even the odds makers are thinking this game it's going to come down to a field goal. It's going to be closer and close. You got Kansas City and Philadelphia. So how do you pick? Look, the best team is out. Let's face it. The Ravens. And why are the Ravens out? Because they had 5 turnovers to, I think it was Buffalo's 0 turnovers, and they still only lost by a few points. But that's why turnovers, and you're going to lose the game. So do you pick the team that's going to have the least turnovers? Now, no fake, Sherlock. Yeah, I picked the team with the least turnover. But how do you know? Philadelphia is actually better at causing turnovers this year than Kansas City. There's kind of a note, something to keep an eye on. So, or do you pick the team with the best player? Well, that could be Mahomes. It could be Barkley. I mean, Barkley's just phenomenal. Just had a great year. You can't forget about him. Or do you pick the team with the best clutch player? Well, that's Mahomes. I think we would all agree with that they just keep pulling out games when you think maybe this is it. This is the week they're going to lose. They keep pulling it out. So Mahomes, the best clutch player. So who am I going with? I'm taking the Eagles. I don't know if you kind of read into it. I'm taking the Eagles. I am going with, you forget, you can't guess on who's going to have the least turnovers. Mahomes, the clutch thing, it's there. It's a factor, but is that how you're going to really bet on a team? Bet on the team that's the best team. Who's the best team? The Eagles are the best team. They have the best running back, Barkley. They have the best offensive line. And these are all proven stats here. They've got better wide receivers with Brown and Smith than Kansas City is doing. Kansas City's receivers, they're coming along, but but no, not Brown and Smith. How about tight end and quarterback? All right, I will give the edge to Kansas City a little bit, but Philly's got Goddard. No, nothing to shame about there. And Hurts, nothing to sneeze about there. Hurts is legit. Philly, I think, this is up for debate, has a better defense as well. So you package it all up. The Eagles are the best team. And so how can you not bet on the best team? Unless you think Mahomes' magic is going to happen again, which I can't guarantee it won't happen, but I'm going to take the best team, and I think they're going to come through. Truth be told, too, here, I don't want another Tom Brady era. So I don't want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl every friggin' year. I mean, enough already. So I got some of that in me, but I think I'm really thinking through this, which I'm going with the best team, the Eagles. Enjoy Super Bowl weekend. Let's go.